But want to hit everybody with some news tweeted out today from ESPN's Shams Charania, NBA insider. So this was in the first hour of the show. Now, it's not like exceptionally time-sensitive news, so that's why we can wait until the final hour to bring it to you here. If it were something earth-shattering, we would have brought it to you immediately. So Shams Charania, and I thought about it during the break. Do I want to read the tweet verbatim? And I think the answer to that question is yes. And the reason why, it is so convoluted and ridiculous that I almost think that I need to do it justice by reading it to everybody. And maybe I'm just stupid. Certainly possible. I'd like to know who among us, and I am not claiming to be the smartest person, the sharpest knife in the drawer, not claiming that at all. But I would like to know who among us is smart enough to be able to translate this and figure out whatever the hell he's talking about here. Here's the tweet. Quote, the NBA presented 3 comprehensive anti-tanking concepts to its board of governors on Wednesday, with modifications expected to each before a formal vote in May. So here are the 3 comprehensive anti-tanking concepts. And, I'll preface this by saying, obviously, this is awesome that Adam Silver and the NBA are trying to make this happen. Tanking is a gigantic issue for the integrity of the league and for making the NBA awesome on a night-in, night-out basis once we get into the dog days of the season. And obviously, the season should be shorter, but it's not going to be because there's too much money to be made. So I like that the NBA is trying to figure this out. But as we've talked about for quite some time on the show, it's going to be really hard for them to do this because if you're an NBA team, you're going to find a way around whatever the rule is to try and give yourself the best chances possible to get the ping pong balls to fall your way, because that's how you can really transform yourself into a championship contender, especially if you're a small market team, by getting the right bounce of the ping pong balls and landing a generational star. For instance, like this year, BYU's AJ DeBonsa, Kansas's Darren Peterson, maybe somebody else. Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson, Darius Acuff. We'll see. Kingston Flemings, Nate Ament. Lots of good choices, right? Which is why we're seeing a lot of teams this year race to the bottom. So here are, and I'm going to read them verbatim. This is, I feel like I'm back in calculus class in college. Number 1. I'm already regretting my decision to read it. Number 1. This is just ridiculous. 18 teams in the draft lottery. Seeds 7 to 15 in each conference. Flattened odds with the bottom 10 teams having an 8% chance. My head already hurts. The remaining 20% odds distributed it in decreasing order for 11 through 18 and a lottery drawing for all 18 picks. I'm already lost. That's just the first one. And if you understood that, honestly, you should be working for NASA. Number 2, 22 teams in the lottery. Imagine using a 2-year record, seeds 7 to 15, plus the 4 playoff first round exits in both conferences. That's great. Make it to the playoffs, lose in the first round during the lottery. Okay. Lottery teams would reach a minimum win total floor at each season, such as 25. If a team falls short of the floor, it gets slotted to meet the floor. This sounds like a new morning show on NBC. Meet the floor. The top 4 are drawn as part of the lottery, as is currently. And number 3, 18 teams in a 5x5 lottery. I thought that 5x5 was a deal that Pizza Hut offered, or a way that Roto leagues are scored in fantasy sports. 18 teams in a 5x5 lottery. The bottom 5 teams have equal odds for the top pick, with lottery formed for picks 1 through 5. The bottom 5 teams have a floor at 10. Those that fall out of the top 5 get sorted in a separate drawing. Be honest. Did anyone understand any of that? Any of it? Maybe I'm just an idiot. I read that and I'm just I need this explained to me like I'm 3 years old. Like, I know this is a big problem for the league. It can't be this complicated to figure it out. Here are 3 incomprehensible things that we are proposing that, like, no one can understand unless you have, like, a Mensa membership. I look forward to seeing what the Board of Governors had to say. Again, I commend the NBA for the attempt. It absolutely needs to be made. They got to try and figure this out because the product, like, you'll have nights where one game in the NBA is watchable. And think about it from our perspective, right? Me, national sports talk show host, where, there are nights like we had a couple nights ago in the NBA where there are like 4 or 5 games that are worth discussing. Sometimes there are none. Like, that can't be. And it doesn't mean that the NBA has to lead the show every day. That's not what it is. But it can't be what it is now. So I give them credit to trying to figure it out. I don't know if any of these proposals are the answer for the NBA as it tries to curb this anti-tanking problem. You bet on this Friday. Nick Costos with you here on Westwood One Sports. Couple news items in the National Football League, both revolving around the team with the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft, the Las Vegas Raiders.